Several months later.
I don't know, friend. When you was in that storage closet doing that interview, you sure did sound like a supporter. Now, Ashanti and Nelly sit down with Ebro, Laura Stiles, and Rosenberg to discuss, well, his support for Donald Trump.
Talking about your political stances out here.
Oh yeah.
You still on your pro Donald Trump stance?
See, this is what I'm saying. What did you get pro Donald?
I didn't
What did you get pro? What you had was respect for office.
Okay.
And it's great how people spin narratives to things that I think best fit whatever they're against.
And let me stop you right there, Country Grammar, because that's not what you said when you was hiding in that bunker giving that interview.
That's because you are propping up a white supremacist.
I would ask them to show me where he's a white supremacist, and here's the thing. Okay, I get it. He did say if you don't vote for me, you're not black, right? Oh no, that wasn't him. That wasn't him. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Hold on. He did create.
I know where you're going.
He did create the crime bill in the 90s, which said that if you get caught with 5 grams of crack, you do a mandatory 5 years. That had mass incarceration. I think even the Vice President Kamala spoke on that part that said that the crime bill played a huge part. He didn't do that. Let me see. What did he do? I'm trying to think. The white supremacist. Hold on. I'm gonna get to it. Okay. He did not rent to black people. What was it, in the 70s or the 80s? Is that what they said? And like, okay, is he written to him now? So nobody's allowed to change, right? See, here's the thing. So we can talk about past, but we never want to talk about our past.
Imagine being married to a failure who supports white supremacy. And the reason why you see Nelly changing his tune, well, it's because of the overarching racist policies that the Trump administration has doled out in the past 6 months. So it's understandable that Nelly is trying to promote his new reality show while also taking a step back from his support for Donald Trump. Unfortunately, Nelly, you did this to yourself. Just support him and stop hiding in the closet because you're only an embarrassment to you and your wife.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about rapper Nelly, who is still receiving a whole lot of backlash for performing at President Trump's inauguration. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember this story, but I definitely covered it at the time. The pro-blackity blacks were really upset, right, at the fact that you have black rappers like Nelly, I believe Snoop Dogg, who also was like a Trump hater at one time, right? A big Trump hater. Maybe Soulja Boy as well, too. But you had a bunch of black rappers who were performing at President Trump's inauguration. And these people got upset, right? They were losing their minds, boo-hoo-wahing and crying, because if you're black, you're not supposed to support Trump, right? You're not allowed to openly support Trump. You definitely cannot perform at his inauguration. Now, the reason why the pro-blacks are upset with Nelly again is because you have a clip that is resurfacing from the reality show with his wife, Ashanti, in which Ashanti's mom is really upset with Nelly for performing at Trump's inauguration. Now, I want to go ahead and play this clip so you guys can understand why this is a story again, because this is why the pro-blacks are mad. And Nelly has responded to the pro-blacks in a hilarious way by attacking Kamala Harris. And I want to talk about it because they're upset now about Nelly attacking Kamala. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I feel like in this scene, you can tell that Ashanti does not agree with Nelly's decision, but she's also doing her best to be a supportive wife and not go against her husband.
Oh, boy. Oh. There's a lot going on today.
Like what?
So, they asked Big Head to perform for the inauguration.
What?
Mm-hmm. We just had a conversation.
What did he say?
He's thinking about it. I think he's kind of leaning towards doing it.
Look how devastated these people look, bruh. Can you just imagine how miserable your life must be to be basically a multi-millionaire family? Like, let's be real. Your life is great. It's amazing. But you make yourself miserable with stuff like this. Who cares, right? If he performs at the inauguration, how does that hurt you as the mother-in-law, right? How are you upset? You should be proud of your son-in-law and say, hey, he's performing for the president. I might not agree with the president's political opinions, but hey, you know, it's a great opportunity, right? Be proud of him, okay? Instead of giving him backlash because he's performing at the president's inauguration. Again, it's this type of stuff, man, that just, I can't job with this. I can never job with this type of stuff. But anyways, let's continue.
This is more about the opportunity of performing at the White House as opposed to performing for like a particular candidate. With everything, there are pros and cons. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
This is very emotional for me. My dad was heavy into civil rights. He marched on Washington with Martin Luther King, and he also marched to Selma. When he came back to Glen Cove, he started to integrate the systems, the school system, the fire department, the police department. So he was deeply, deeply involved in civil rights, and I'm very proud of him. Do you understand why it's a lot? Like, what are your thoughts and views on it? Like, just real quick.
I mean, ultimately, it's his decision.
100%. It's his decision. But as a married couple, it's going to affect both of you.
I mean, this is a new role, you know. Being a wife is different than being a girlfriend. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're supposed to respect it. You're supposed to understand that, hey, this is his career. This is what he does. And you're supposed to respect it and be done with it, right? And keep it moving. Keep your mouth shut. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to accept it for what it is.
This is a forever thing.
It's a forever thing.
So no matter what happens, you're still going to come together. In terms of marriage, I think that she does try her best. You know, they're a team. So every team member, you're only as strong as your weakest link.
I personally don't really do a lot of talking about my beliefs in politics and all of that stuff. So, but again, you know, at the end of the day, it's his decision.
But it's my job to make sure, as your mom and your manager, it's my job to make sure you can voice your opinion on what you feel and what you know, as opposed to, oh, let me think about this, let me think about that.
Hold on for 2 seconds. Hey, what up, Mom?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm chilling. Y'all in here, you ain't talking about divorcing me or no shit like that. Because I'm doing it.
You doing
I
it?
talked to you 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm doing it. No big deal.
It's a big deal.
No.
It's a big deal. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Again, it shouldn't be a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's only a big deal to her. And again, these are the type of mother-in-laws you got to run away from. You got to run away from these mother-in-laws. These are toxic people. They ruin relationships. And, you know, hey, it is what it is. So, yes, this new reality show, right, this clip is going viral. And this is why Nelly is getting a whole lot of backlash, right? You have a whole lot of people upset, okay, with Nelly for performing at President Trump's inauguration because of this clip.
So I just seen a clip here on the Tickety Talk of Nelly and Ashanti's new reality show. And it just confirmed for me why I won't be watching it. Nelly was trying to explain to Ashanti why he was going to perform at one of Frumpy Dump's inaugural balls. And in my opinion, he couldn't even fully articulate why he was going to perform. Ashanti's eyebrow was twitching the entire time. You could tell that she was not pleased, but she was just going to support her man and not make a scene. You know, if he had said something profound there, giving me a valid reason why, other than, oh, well, if it was one of his campaign rallies, then I wouldn't perform, but America has spoken, is basically what he said, then maybe I would give it an opportunity. But for me, I can't support Nelly. And unfortunately, Ashanti has to be collateral damage in this situation because, you know, her husband chose to do that. While sitting next to a black woman, he chose to perform, to shuck and jive for Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. That tells me a lot about him, whether he did it for money or not, if the check even cleared. I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. I just can't support it. There is no way in hell that I can support somebody that got their ass up there and performed for Frump and Dump. I mean, Chrisette Michele has never recovered when she performed for Frump and Dump, but Nelly got a reality show and now we're supposed to support it. What is it? Because he's a man? Baby, it was good for the geese. It's good for the gander. His ass is not going to get my support because that was a stupid decision. In any way, he will not get my support. So, unfortunately, Ashanti, she's coming here on my birthday, and I would love to see her. But, baby, can't do it. Hell no, can't.
To make a joke about her divorcing him because he saw that she was talking to her mother about what was going on, it's almost like he knew that what he was doing was distasteful, and he knew her legacy, and he was just like, I don't care. Because a lot of the things that Nelly is saying sounds like they didn't really have a lot of important conversations before they said the I do. But she has to know that with marriage, it has to be a compromise. She can't be the only one compromising. How's that fair to her? She's a new mom, and she needs support from her partner too.
Yeah, so I promise you guys, it's not me adding the smoke detector chirping in the background, okay? I don't know what it is about ratchet black people not changing their batteries in their smoke detectors, but apparently this is like an actual thing, okay? And once you see it, or once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Because it happens all the time. But I promise you, it's not me, okay? I'm not putting it on the background, and it's not coming from my house, right? Okay, so yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But what I do know is, again, is that Nelly is pissed off, right? He's pissed off with some of the backlash he's been receiving. Okay, they've been calling him all types of names because of this clip, and he has responded. And he pissed off the pro-blacks even more because he basically started going off on Kamala Harris, right? So let's read here. The rap megastar has been fending off critics during his press run for his, quote, We Belong Together reality series with wife Ashanti, especially when he stepped into the shade room and took aim at Kamala Harris. Nelly highlighted his and Snoop Dogg's monetary support towards historically black colleges and universities over the years before flipping the switch on the ex-VP and her hubs, Doug Emhoff, labeling them, quote, the women of color with the white and white kids. So let's read this. Nelly says, quote, I'll put whatever up me and Snoop do more in the community and have been doing for over 20 plus years against any of you that are just on here talking trash and have no stats to back up what you mean to the community. From the black families that we employ to the black children that we help every day and all year through our nonprofits, whether we're sending kids to schools on scholarships to HBCU or helping young black boys in LA Gang Central with his junior football programs, which many players have went on to go to the NFL and live their dreams. And on top of that, we are quote unquote black men married to beautiful black women with black children. Should be inspiring to most, but that some of y'all have a problem with because of the prosecutor who has probably locked up more black men that we've helped black women of color with the white husband and white kids did not win the election. Again, I reiterate, I did not campaign for anyone. I do not tell people who to vote for. I respect and love our country from top to bottom, good and bad. And I am very aware that it's a lot of things in this country that we need to work on. The right is too far right and the left is too far left. I'm a military baby with a grand uncle who is a Tuskegee Airman and Red Tail that was very proudful for his country. I told you it's my respect for the office, meaning any president that calls upon Nelly, it would be an honor. Nothing to do with money. Nothing to do with race, but if y'all want to make it about race, then let's go. I find it very interesting that so many of you would dump on the two black men that's married to black women that has black children because the quote unquote woman of color with white husband and white kids didn't win. Wow. 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 Hey, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, I think the point that Nelly is making here is that if you're going to make who you support about race, then why are these so-called pro-blacks not holding Kamala accountable for marrying a white man, right? And having white kids. Which I don't know. Is Doug Emhoff white? I believe he's Jewish. So who knows? Does that count as white? But, regardless, she didn't marry a black man. Okay, but yet Nelly's a sellout. Any black man is a sellout that supports Trump, even though he married a black woman, right? And he has black children. Kamala, hey, she married outside the race, even though I believe she's Indian, right? But she married outside that race too. Okay, so I'm just saying that, it's just really funny how all these pro-blackity blacks have nothing to say about Kamala being with a white man. But, if you're black and you support Trump, you sell it out. You ain't really black. You're not invited to the cookout. So I think that's the point that he's getting at here. He said, listen, I've done a lot of things for the black community. Okay, I've done a lot for the black community. And coming after me because of who I supported, okay, during the election or, performing at inauguration is not fair, right? Considering how, again, he's put in the work. He's shown that, he's quote unquote down for his community, right? Which, again, I think he's coming from a good place, right? I think that he makes some fair points. Because you know how it is, okay? These so-called women of color, right? These women that's supposed to be fighting against white supremacy, they love the Great White Pipe, okay? Ilhan Omar, AOC, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Kamala Harris, right? These so-called pro-black women, they love the white man. And none of their supporters have anything to say about it. They have nothing to say about it. They go to sleep every night with white supremacy. But if you're a black man and you can have a black wife, a whole black family, and if you support Trump, all of a sudden you're not really black. You hate your mama, right? You hate your mama because you support Trump. Or if you date a white woman, right? If you date a white woman, then you hate your mama too. You hate your sisters. You hate every woman in your family. The double standard is ridiculous. So I get exactly where he's coming from. The only thing I will say is, listen, Nelly, if you support Trump, if you like Trump, then stand on it. There's no need to beat around the bush with it. Just stand on your support for Trump. You said MAGA at one of your concerts. You performed at the inauguration. Clearly, you like the guy. Clearly, you support the president. Stand on it. You was excited to perform. Be proud of it. Be proud of it, because either way, these pro-blacks going to be upset, right? They're going to hate you either way. So you might as well stand on it, right? You might as well stand up for what you believe in, okay? Because they're pissed off. They're really pissed off about what Nelly said about their queen, Kamala Harris. Take a look.
Nelly, just say you needed some money. Just say you did it for the money. Every attempt that Nelly has tried to do to defend or deflect from the backlash of him performing at the inauguration has not worked. First, it was because you respect the office. Then it was, you want Willie D's podcast talk about, well, show me where he's a white supremacist. And then in the past 6 months, Trump said, actually, I'll show you. Now that he's shown you, and it's clear as day, you're deflecting. Now you're attacking Kamala Harris and her voters, saying that we just mad at him because she didn't win and she's married to a white man and I'm a black man and Snoop is a black man with a black wife. All this other shit. And on the show, on your little show with Ashanti has told you what was going to happen. She told you all the backlash, everything that did happen. She told you what was going to happen, and you didn't care. You didn't care because you wanted some money. You might need some money. Last year, we saw the footage of your concerts being empty. Around this time last year, there was video footage of your concerts being empty, circulating the internet. And then you're on stage performing for the inauguration. You, Snoop, and all these other celebrities, just say it. Either you support Trump and you're a Trump supporter, or you just needed some money, or you just wanted some money. You may not even need it.
Nelly stepped into the shade room to address the backlash that he's receiving for performing at the inaugural Liberty Ball. He tries to explain that he does a lot for the black community, and he kept reiterating that he has a black family. He goes on to say that he did not do it for the money or for any particular candidate. He just did it because he had respect for the office. And I find it funny that you have more respect for the office than the person in the office.
I also find it funny how you say it wasn't about a particular candidate, but in the same breath, you chose to demean and throw shots at Kamala unwarranted. You talked about how she put a lot of black men in prison, and you went as far to say that she's a black woman that married a white man and got white children. Now, why did you have to go there? Why did you have to bring her up in order to address the fact of what you did? Just stand on business, Nelly. Just say you wanted the money and that you respected Donald Trump's position over Kamala. But don't try to gaslight us and make it seem like it was about the respect of the office. And Nelly, you know and we know performing at the inaugural ball is endorsing a candidate. But even more than that, aligning yourself with white supremacy says more about your character than anything.
Look, I was going to leave it alone, but I changed my mind. So Nelly thinks it's cute to come for Kamala in the Shade Room comments, attacking this black woman unwarrantedly, coming for her children, coming for her husband, while also self-proclaiming to be a paragon for the black community because he wants to justify the fact that he performed for a white supremacist, a white nationalist, the same white nationalist that's rolling back DEI initiatives, the same white nationalist that's banning black books and erasing black history, the same white nationalist right now pushing for the Senate to pass a bill that's going to get black women and children killed. So let me profess and attest that no nothing Nelly performed for a felony that's going to kick a whole lot of black people off of their Medicaid. Somebody get this man a Band-Aid because I'm about to verbally abuse you. And I promise I'm going to stay on substance since you know so much about it. For somebody who's been arrested for simple possession, I thought you would know a little bit about reentry. You claimed that she was a prosecutor that arrested black men. Well, on the contrary, sir, she was the person who created the first in the nation reentry program to get low-level offenders like yourself out of jail. And I just find it so ignorant and interesting that you want to sit here and keep bringing up her white husband. Well, who the hell are you? Police? Last time your ass paid police, your ass had sexual assault allegations, not once, not twice, but thrice. And I seen your little list of things that you've done for the black community. It's cute, but there's no comparison to what Kamala Harris has done for our community. You said you given the HBCUs. Have you given $17 billion? You ain't even worth one of them. How many black men did you get out of prison? Because I can name the ones that Kamala has. You said you paid for people's tuition. Kamala Harris canceled over $187 billion worth of student loan forgiveness under the Biden-Harris administration. Bitch, can you clear a check like that?
Yeah, so again, imagine comparing the accomplishments of somebody who's in government, using somebody else's dollars, to somebody using their own dollars to help out a certain community of people. I don't think that's an apples to apples comparison, but that's neither here nor there. My point is this. Nelly, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? At this point, these people have decided that you're not invited to the cookout, that you sold out, that, you know, you are not black, okay? They've already decided these things, okay? That you're aligned with white supremacy. You might as well stand on your beliefs and just say it with your chest that you support Trump, right? You might as well just stand on it, okay? Come on now. There's no need to beat around the bush, right? Just say how you really feel, because we all know how you really feel, and I'm cool with it. I rock with you, right? And I understand exactly where you're coming from as a black person. Yes, I know it's hard to tell black folks that you support Trump, but it'll set you free, right? It's one of those things that it's empowering, okay? To tell all these people, look, all these Democrats, these Kamala Harris supporters, these people that's been telling that plantation for years that I support Trump, right? It's an empowering thing. I suggest that you try it, okay? Just say it with your chest, okay? Because again, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. They're going to call you names. They're going to say what they got to say anyways. So you might as well just stand on it. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.